Hi, and welcome to Old School Blues Guitar. It is time for the classic solo lesson for the months of April through June 2019. And sort of by request, we're going to take a look at B.B. King's solo in his early recording, or one of his early recordings of Rock Me Baby. I had a request for the Otis Redding version, but that more fits into 60s soul R&B, and so maybe I'll feature that on my Old School R&B channel instead. But while we're on the topic, let's take a look at the old B.B. King version. It's played in the key of C, and so we're going to be playing the solo pretty much entirely over the first position blues box in C. As with all my lessons, I expect you to be familiar with the song before you try to learn it. So people that come to my site and they want to see what they're going to learn first, sorry, I want you to do your homework first and then come here if you want to learn this. And this is mostly for people anyway who are more familiar with this kind of music and want to learn it. So here we go. I'm not going to play the whole solo through. I'd make too many mistakes and I don't have a backing track, so we're just going to go phrase by phrase. He starts out with this really cool lick, which is basically just an F-shaped C chord. And he's going to slide in. And the way I've been playing it, trying to learn it, and listening to the original recordings, I just take this F shape and I start one step below and I slide into a C. 1, 2. Really kind of powerful, cool way to start off a solo. Then he goes into something like this. One more time. And again, he's playing in the first position blues box. So I'm starting on the 10th fret of the 4th string, going 8, 9 on the 3rd string. We're going to do that several times in this solo. To the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And then we're going to hold it on the 8th fret of the 3rd string and bend it. A little bit of a bend there. And then we're going to go to the 10th fret of the 4th string. So the whole thing so far. And then he's going to go 8, 10 on the 4th string, and a little bend on the 3rd string at the 8th fret. It's kind of hard to hear in the recording with the other instruments going if he goes to the 10th fret of the 5th string on this lick, so he does something like this. Can't tell if he does that or not. You could do that, and it would work. So that is the first phrase. And then he does this really cool climbing lick. So that whole thing, he's going to start again on the 10th fret of the 4th string, which is a C. And he's going to start with that typical B.B. King climb, 8, 9 on the 2nd, 3rd string, to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And then he's going to do one of these bends, bending at the 10th fret of the 3rd string, getting the 8th fret of the 2nd string and the 1st string. Back to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And then he's going to do that long bend on the 2nd string, which is at the 11th fret. So the whole lick again. He kind of lets that hang like that. And then the next lick, after that, he's going to do something like this. This is a really neat lick, and he's starting from what I can hear. Again, this is just my interpretation and what I think he's playing. If you hear something different or if you disagree, let us all know so we can try out your ideas and see if that works instead. He's doing this climb on the 3rd string. He actually starts on the 10th fret of the 4th string. And he starts bending when he gets to the 10th fret of the 3rd string, but it's just a slight bend. And then he's going to quickly go to the 11th fret of the 2nd string. And then he's going to hold that bend on the 3rd string, 10th fret. Again, he's going to hold the 8th fret of the 3rd string. And this time I can hear the 10th fret of the 5th string. He gets it 2 or 3 times. So let's take the whole solo so far. And then right here, he does a little lick, and I can't figure this one out for sure. This is as close as I think I can get to what he's playing. And it sounds to me he's starting again on the 10th fret of the 4th string. And he's climbing that 3rd string, 8, 9, 10, but it sounds like double stops. And then right before he stops the phrase, he does another hammer-on from the 8th fret to the 9th fret. And it's either one string with the 2nd string just ringing out, or he's picking both strings, a double stop. So he gets something like this. Really cool. Listen to the original, look at my tab, and see what you think. And then as he heads in to the 5, the last part of the solo, he plays a couple single string wrongs. So that one, he sounds like he starts on the 8th fret of the 1st string, 11, 8 on the 2nd string, a bend up on the 10th fret of the 3rd string, ending on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. So one more time. And then the next time, really cool. He's going to do this rake. And what I'm doing is really dragging the pick down over the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings with my left hand, making a C, an F-shaped C. So you can check the tab there. So the pick starts on the 3rd string and then drags down and then goes 11, 8 on the 2nd string. So we got this. So what I'm doing there, check the tab, I'm just playing around between the 3rd and the 2nd, 3rd and 4th strings, up between the 8th and 10th frets. And then I'm going to do this walk. And it sounds to me like from the 10th fret of the 4th string, he's going 8, 7. And then he's going to do one more of these licks before the verse ends. What I'm doing there, I'm hammering on from the 8th to the 10th of the 2nd string, and then getting a double stop at the 10th fret of the 3rd and 2nd strings, 10th fret of the 4th string, and then the hammer on with my 1st finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd and 3rd strings, hammering on to the 9th fret of the 3rd string, getting the 2nd string too. That's it right there. So it's actually 10, 8 on the 2nd string. Then the double stop. So we got this whole lick here on the 5. And to the end of the solo. So again, if you notice, the solo is played entirely in the 1st position blues box. No, nothing else. But as B.B. King always finds a way, he makes the solo really soulful and cool. One thing I may not have done, sometimes I forget to do this when I'm teaching, is when you're playing some of these notes, you want to make sure you get the left hand vibrato in. So something like this. You know, hold the note, make it sing. And the way I'm doing that is I've got my finger on the note and I'm using my left hand and I'm shaking it, vibrating it without moving the finger. Try to keep the finger on the note. If you move the finger, you don't want that. You want the note to hold true. Just Just takes practice. When you do the bends like this, do a little bit of the same thing. Fun solo to mess around with. One verse. That's all he needs to say something there. So I didn't teach the whole song, but I did teach the solo. Now there is the signature lick in the tune. And I'm not sure how he played that. I've been watching some videos of B.B. King trying to figure it out. And here's our C chord. And right here is a C7 double stop between the 6th and the 8th frets of the 1st and 2nd string. And I think when he's playing this in the song, he's doing something like this. So I'm just starting on the 8th fret of the 2nd string, and then going 8-6 on the 1st string. And every now and then he'll come back to the 8th fret. Then when the song goes over the 4, which is an F, we just move to the F7th shape, which is going to be down here between the 10th or the 11th and the 13th frets. And then when he plays over the 5, we're just moving to the 7th double stop shape of the G chord, which is between the 13th and the 15th frets. So if you want to learn how to play Rock Me Baby, it's really that lick, which he plays throughout the song over the verses, and then you've got the solo. So take what I've given you there and listen to the original, the early version from the 1950s, and use my tab. And I think if you want to figure out the whole solo, you can, and if you want to use any of these licks, there's some cool ideas in there that I have tabbed out for you. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Hope it's useful. I'll be back again in a couple months with another classic electric blues solo. See you then.